Coach Julia here. We're gonna talk about warm-ups, specifically mobility for knees, right? Having really healthy knees is so important for sustaining yourself as an athlete in the sport of Olympic weightlifting. We squat so much. There's gonna be so much wear and tear on your knees. Now, part of that maintenance is going to be following a really well-designed program that manages your load, manages your volume. That's obviously key. But there are things that we can do to help bulletproof your knees a little bit more so that you can get through your workouts and feel awesome at the end of the week. So again, I'm gonna preface, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physical therapist. If you need somebody, then please reach out. I'm happy to connect you with somebody. But from what I know within this sport and my own history of injury, we really need to look at two potential places when it comes to any type of knee discomfort. One is gonna be above the knee, which is quad related, right? Making sure that our quadriceps and our hips stay really healthy. The other one is going to move downtown, and we're gonna look at your calves, your feet, your ankles. So that's really where we're gonna start today. We're gonna start on the ground and we're gonna move our way up, and I'm gonna give you, as always, just a few really quick actionable things that you can do to help improve and better warm up your knees. Okay, so if you've visited my channel enough, you know that I, in general, don't prescribe foam rolling a whole lot. However, I do think foam rolling has a place in terms of soft tissue maintenance and making sure we've got really good, healthy blood flow going through that area. So that's where we're gonna start off, and it's gonna be super basic and minimal. We're gonna start with your feet. I've got one of these fancy foot rolly thingies, but you can use a lacrosse ball, that's totally cool. And we just need to move through the fascia of the feet a little bit. If you have something like this, you can also start to work into that calf, which we're gonna get to in just a second. And really, you just need a few passes on each foot, kind of dig into that. You shouldn't be destroying yourself with foam rolling. We're just trying to get some blood flow to the area. Next, I'm gonna move down to a foam roller, and I'm gonna work on my calves a little bit. So I'm gonna do this by resting one calf on top of the foam roller, the other foot is on the ground. That's just helping me steer a little bit. And same deal, I wanna work towards the outer side, towards the inner side, and I can start to do fancy things like ankle circles while I'm there. I can flex and extend and flex and extend, and all of that is good. Then I'm gonna move straight to my quads, right? We said before that the two things we're gonna look at when it comes to some knee maintenance is going to be what's below the knee and then what's above the knee. So we need to roll out those quads a little bit. I'm gonna do that by setting up one knee in front of me. That's my support leg. My hands are on the ground. My back leg, the one that's extended, is going to rest on the foam roller. I can put this foot up here. And again, I'm just looking to pass up and down the entire length of the quadricep muscles. I can do that on the side as well on the IT band. Just a few passes here and there, again, to wake up that tissue and make sure it stays really nice and healthy. I grabbed a slant board. A slant board, if you're not used to it, if you've never seen one before, is really just a wedge. Sometimes they're foam like this. Sometimes they're made out of wood. It doesn't really matter. If you don't have one, I just want you to take a plate and put it under the front of your foot so that we're elevating the toes. The next thing I'm gonna do here with my slant board, and again, feel free to do this on a small box, to do it standing on a plate, whatever you have access to, is a single leg step down. So when I do this, I'm gonna try to allow the knee that I'm standing on, or the leg that I'm standing on, to let that knee go as far forward as I can, keeping the heel down. I'm gonna tap the opposite foot, and then I'm gonna come up from there. So I'm really starting to encourage knee flexion forward, past the toe, and then back. Particularly if you struggle with range of motion in your squats, it's really important that we train you to allow the knee to go past the ball of the foot and then come back up. The next thing I'm gonna do here is something called a kneeling quad lean. So now I'm looking for some eccentric length through the quad. I'm gonna start kneeling. I've got something soft under my knees. The tops of my feet can stay down. If that's uncomfortable, you can go ahead and tuck them under. That's cool. We're gonna tip the pelvis underneath yourself so it stays right under your rib cage. And then from there, you're gonna start to lean back. But you notice I'm leaning back from the knees. I'm trying to keep my body moving as one unit. What I see oftentimes is this kind of bridging back. No. We're gonna keep that rib cage down. We're gonna keep your abs nice and tight. We're gonna keep your glutes engaged. You wanna feel this stretch going through the quads into the hips, and then you come back up. This is a really great alternative to something like a sissy squat, where you can limit the range of motion a little bit more. It's a little less heavy on the knees. But again, there's lots of different ways to play with this. And the last thing thing I'm gonna do here is a Spanish squat. So this is just a banded squat variation that's going to help encourage my knee flexion to go forward, and then I'm gonna get a good little squeeze of the quad at the top. I'm gonna take a band, just one of these elastic gym bands. I'm gonna loop it around something that's not gonna move. Then I'm gonna step both legs into it, and I want it sitting right behind my knee. If you've got any kind of discomfort with that, then feel free to play around, either the lighter band or just moving the band up and down. You're gonna set your feet wherever you normally squat, and then from there, we're gonna, again, encourage the knees to go forward, allow the hips to sit straight down, and then as you come up, you're gonna flex against the band so we get that good little quad contraction at the top. So again, those are just a few of my favorite ways to really address the knees and the ankles to some extent in warming up for weightlifting. That is just a small snippet of things that you could do to address those joints. A lot of the stuff gets programmed automatically into the programs that I run with my athletes. If you want to find out more about that, about different types of weightlifting programs, then go ahead and check out the link down below to learn a little bit more about me and about the types of programs that I run. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe. See you on the platform.